Here's an up close and personal look at my beauty area of my room, my little desk here, and then I have a storage next to it that holds all my makeup. I've had this desk for a really long time, or a vanity I should say, and it's just got some succulent plants on it, RS letters that I got from a friend, and then I have some decor next to it like my calendar, some beachy pictures. I have my lights strung up right here. I don't have them there all the time. I have some perfume, lotion, candles, and then underneath I have camera, beauty wipes, and extra storage space. And then obviously, as you can see, I have my big mirror, a nice window. My brush set is on top of where I store my makeup, and we're gonna dive right into what everything is about. So this is where I keep my tools like eyelash curler, tweezers, eyelash glue, stuff like that. My mirror that I used to do my makeup up close, and then I have a spray bottle next to it, the MAC Fix Plus. And then next to that I have this little thing that holds all of my eyeliner pencils, and I actually made this and the thing that's holding my tools right now at a pottery place. It's got some eyeliners in it, some brow products, and then it's got some lip liners in it as well, along with some brow gels, and then it also has some eyeshadow primers as well. So all stuff for my eyes basically. Here's a closer look at my makeup storage for my brushes and makeup as well. It's a 5-drawer storage unit that I got from Michael's. I put together myself. Kind of remind me of the IKEA Alex drawers. So for brushes, I have everything labeled. So these are my Wet n Wild brushes. And my mom actually did this herself, painted it herself. These are my crown, face, and eye brushes, and I have a large collection of them, as you can see. And having them labeled just helps me pick out which ones I want better. These are my e.l.f. face and eye brushes, a very favorite of mine, my big fluffy brush, and then a bunch of smaller ones that I use. And then I have some miscellaneous brushes, which basically is where I have like brushes from Urban Decay, IT Cosmetics, Tarte, Anastasia, and then like a drugstore brand, Bamboo Naturals. Moving on to Real Techniques. Obviously you can tell that it's Real Techniques because of the colorful brush handles. And I have some big face brushes, and I also have some tiny eye brushes in the back. And lastly, we have Morphe, which is probably my favorite brush holder of all of them, just because I'm obsessed with Morphe brushes. Have some face brushes, but mostly eye brushes. And they're mostly white tipped natural hair brushes. So the first drawer is my primer, foundation, and concealer drawer. So we're just going to open this up and show you what's inside. I would like to have my foundation standing up, but the drawer is not deep enough to do that. But anyway, back in the back, I have all of my primers from high-end to drugstore. I have some foundations I don't really use that are in the back. IT Cosmetics towards the front. I have my NARS Longwear. There's the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea, and I have those in 2 shades. A lot of these I have in multiple shades. I have my Too Faced Born This Way, my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow, Wet n Wild foundation, some LA Girl, Too Faced Sweet Peach, and that is all for my foundations. I have a lot of multiples of foundations just because if I like a foundation, I'll stick to it. And then I have some more primers up front, the Becca ones, and then I have my concealers on the right. I have a lot of doubles of those as well, like the Urban Decay, Makeup Revolution, Tarte, and then Wet n Wild and LA Girl. The drawer right beneath that is where I keep all of my like face products, so like my powder products or my cream products. And the first thing you obviously see is the Morphe. But yes, I have the Morphe Sculpt and Shimmer palette, the blushes that I did the video on, the Duo Bronzer, Bronzer, And then I have some other additives in here that I use, like powder puffs and whatnot. I have my creams on the left side towards the back area just because I don't have a lot. I have my highlights on the left side. I got some Becca, Essence, Elf, Anastasia, Tarte. And I'm just showing you all of the products right here. And then I have some blushes in the like middle area. Got some Wet n Wild, got a blush palette in the back. A lot of the times it's hard for me to use the palettes that are in the back just because they're not in my view, but they're kind of big, so that's why I put them back there instead of towards the front. But I do mostly keep all of my face palettes in the back and then my blushes in the center. Got some bronzers in the back as well, like the Physicians Formula, and the bronzers kind of wrap around. Got some Burt's Bees, obviously. Got a sample of the NARS Orgasm. I have a cream blush that was hidden underneath my powder blushes. And then we have my favorite blush, which is the Wet n Wild Mellow Wine. And then right next to the blushes are my powders, pressed powders, loose powders. Got some different ones there. Tarte pressed powder, Wet n Wild pressed powder, It Cosmetics powder, and then the loose powders I have is Laura Mercier. The Too Faced Born This Way, and the Becca Hydra Mist powder, which is like gives you like a cooling wet sensation. And then on the right I have my like bronzer contour palettes, which is the Tarte bronzer palette or chisel palette. Then I have the Hoola bronzer, a little Tarte sample bronzer, Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil, and then this Wet n Wild big bronzer and highlighter palette. And then, like I said before, I have all of the Morphe products, which are blushes, the contour shimmer palette, and then the small bronzer contour. The third drawer down is eyeshadow. And obviously you can see Morphe is the first thing you see as well. And then I have my Morphe Jaclyn Hill card to show you all the shadow shades. And I have my eyeshadow set up a certain way. So I have my two Morphe palettes in the front. And as you can see, surrounding it are the Stila Liquid Shimmering Glow shadows. I have my Tarte palette back here. Next to it is the Too Faced Just Peachy. And then I have all of these like single shadows and brow products like brow powder, and like there's a brow pomade and stuff. A lot of these are Wet n Wild single eyeshadows, and then some of them are just kind of like miscellaneous ones that I've gotten gifted. But yeah, next to it I have the Too Faced Just Peachy mattes, just because it's small and it fits back there. Then I have my OG Tartelette in Bloom palette, which was like one of the first more expensive palettes I got. And then I have this little Wet n Wild one sitting on top, and the Soft Glam by Anastasia Beverly Hills below that. I have this little Elf liquid shadow that's like supposed to be a matte, but then I have the shimmering glows all surrounding the Morphe palettes like I had stated before. I have some in like these rose gold colors. This is Jezebel. This one is like a pinky gold color that came with the spring collection, and I think it's called Carefree. And then I have my more like wearable shades, which is Starlight, which is like a goldy champagne color. And then the other one is Kitten, which has more of like a rosy like champagne undertone to it. And then the fourth drawer down is where I keep my lips and eye products, like my mascara. Obviously you can see I have some false lashes in the back. The two that I have right now are these e.l.f. lashes, the Winged and Bold, and then the other one is Winged and Polished. They have a few different styles, and I thought that I would have picked them up. They're actually really nice lashes, and they're only $4, so... And then in the back, I just have some sample face products from Tarte, like the concealer, the Tarte foundation, and some Becca. Then in the front, obviously you can see I have my Maybelline, I have e.l.f., L'Oreal, Dose of Colors, I have Wet n Wild, some Tarte, and then my NYX lingerie. I have this Clinique little sample, Revlon, Too Faced, Tarte, and then I have all of my sample mascaras, Better Than Sex, Clinique, the It Superhero, the Bare Minerals Lash Domination, got the Tardiest, then I have Lights Camera Lashes, I have this e.l.f. mascara. A lot of these are kind of old, so I need to throw them out, but Maybelline Sensational. I always like getting the smaller mascaras just because I like trying them out before I get the full size, and then I have my Wet n Wild mascaras on the right. And then next I just have a miscellaneous drawer, which everyone has in their beauty room or usually anywhere, and this kind of has like extras, like an extra MAC Prep and Prime, my Mario Badescu spray, Morphe spray. I have all of like my extra beauty blenders that I keep down there. I also have some like sample products that I've gotten in like the mail or something when I order makeup. I have little eye beauty blenders. Yes, those are the samples that I was talking about. And then I have this little nail kit right here and some scissors that I use to cut my eyelashes. I use this to clean my brushes off as I'm doing my makeup. And then I have these little razors that I use to clean up my eyebrows or some parts of like my facial hair, because you know we all got that peach fuzz. And then I have some extras of products like liquid liner, eyeshadows, brow products. Then I have some little sample face masks from Glam Glow back here. And then I have some sample products from Philosophy, like moisturizer, eye cream, face wash, and then this like body emulsion stuff. Then I have a fan that I use as well that I keep down there. That is the entire collection of my makeup, my little vanity tour that I gave you guys. I hope that you really liked it. Let me know down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.